Hello channel, and welcome back to Norway. Rainy Norway. Well, I should say that more often. It gets stops raining when I say that. Well, there we go again. But we are in Stavanger, where we left off. However, we are now in the Widerøe livery of the Dash q400. Since last time, I have been continuing my tweaking. You can watch a video of that. I think more or less some of the more drastic things that I've done is I have locked my monitor rate to 30 Hz. So I have the refresh rate of the monitor. I've tweaked it. I've made a custom resolution in NVIDIA Expector, which has 1440p resolution but 30 Hz refresh rate. And as you can see in my frame rate counter, it's now staying around 30, and everything is, as you may or may not be able to see when I pan around this aircraft using chase plane, quite smooth. I've done two more things. I have changed I've changed a lot of settings actually, but the main things I've done is in FSUIPC. But in miscellaneous, I have set the AI traffic limit here within FSUIPC, and I find that that seems to work even with my normal traffic provider, which is Ultimate Traffic 2. Ultimate Traffic 2 is different from all the other traffic that you find for prepared and FSX in that it's actually an external exe file, an external running program that injects the traffic into the simulator using, I think, either SimConnect or FSUIPC. I'm not sure which one of the interfaces it uses, but basically it's running in a separate program. And to me, that has always given me better frame rates. I also think they have pretty decent traffic. I've replaced a bunch of airlines and liveries, but still, it's pretty decent. But it gives me better frame rates, and more than that, it actually gives the flights actually fly routes. They follow airways, just like we do when we plan a flight using PFBX and follow an airway. So you actually sort of see flights flying right next to you and across from you, and you see intersections in the sky, everything like that. I think that's the neatest thing about it. Also, just think it just looks, in general, just the AI flies pretty realistically. I like it. However, the AI limiter that used to be so great in Ultimate Traffic 2, if you look at something like in FSX, there's an AI limiter that limits the amount of AI that's in a sky at any point. That seems to be broken and prepared. However, now I have it back using FSUIPC, and the frame rates have been pretty dang good. Another thing I've done is I have, and yeah, I don't have it open, but I've changed my, oh yeah, I do. I'm using SimStarter NG, which is just this great program, by the way, you guys. It's really, really great. So you can set all the settings in this program before you start up the sim, which is great for when you're tweaking, because you can sort of do that between restarts. I've set my fiber tray faction to 010 instead of 00.1. Who knows if that will really help me or not? I'm not sure, but I kind of feel like my scene reloads a little slow sometimes. I read something on a forum here that was supposed to sort of really fix that. We'll see. I could show you the rest of my settings. I have 8 samples MSAA. I turned off my sparse super sampling grid thingy, whatever that was, that you have to turn on in NVIDIA Inspector. It's really nice, it works really well, but with cloudy, shitty weather like we've been having recently, it's a bit of a frame rate hog, so I turned it off. I'm running 2K textures, 8x texture filtering. I have the VSync on and the triple buffering on, and target frame rate is set to unlimited, but remember, since my monitor hertz is set to 30, it's limited to 30. Tessellation's on, etc. Of course, everybody needs to have that on. For those of you who don't know, that's just a must to do autogen. Level of detail radius, I have that set to high. I feel like that's what my computer is able to handle in terms of loading scenery. Tessellation factor, I used to have this set all the way to low on my old GTX 7070, but with my new GTX 1070 I can have it set to ultra. don't really see a difference in the quality of the terrain, but what I do see is that with low, the terrain tends to sort of like morph, as it sort of, the tessellation factor, I guess, adds sort of detail to the mesh, and by sort of interpolating the mesh. And with low, it adds it only right around you, not in the distance. And when that happens, it sort of morphs the terrain, really jarring. So with ultra, it doesn't do that much, as much. Master resolution 5 meters. That's set by, that's what they want for FTX Norway and most of the Orbex sceneries. Text resolution 7 centimeters. That's to get sharp roads, basically, and see 7 centimeter textures whether there are 7 centimeter textures. Water detail ultra. I set that because I like the fake waves, or the waves. Some people say it's set to high. I don't really see a difference. I have all these things reflecting in the ocean. I've been playing with clouds recently because that should change the color of the water a little bit based on what's in the sky. Scenery complexity, very dense. Autogen, I have that set to dense. I could probably turn it up, but I have it set to dense. No problem in Norway to set it to very dense, but in different parts of the world, like LA or New York or big cities, it just I kind of get a little bit better results turning it down. Special effects detail high and distance high. Lighting, I checked, as there's a new preset running in PTA right now. It's one called like 21010 or something. I don't remember the name of it. Let's see if I can find that. Let's see if I can find it for you guys. So I have PTA tool presets, yeah, 2.100 v 0.21.ini. I found it on the AbSim forums. Pretty good. Pretty good. Dynamic reflections is set to low. Yeah, this is brightness, bloom, saturation. I could actually, I think I would, personally, I would like to maybe turn the saturation up a little bit next time. Shadow quality, I have that set to high. It just gives better looking shadows, and I can handle it with my graphics card. Terrain is received shadow. Yes, terrain shadows I have turned off. That's a new one that I've done. That actually really does affect the frame rates in bad weather, in GPU situations. And when bad weather, I kind of run into the limits of the GPU a little bit, but not so much. All these other shadows, only things that doesn't cast shadows are buildings. I could probably turn that on, but I have it off for now. Cloud draw distance, I've turned that down a little bit. I've also turned the visibility down a little bit in active sky. Mostly to sort of test out how it looks, actually, not because I want it, but traffic here, of course, all the way down. I'm running only I'm running also GAs coming through Ultimate Traffic 2. Yeah, these are all the sort of other options. Let me show you the tweaks. So the tweaks, I have CPU Affinity Mask 85. I have a i7 processor. It's basically all the processors except the first logical one, I think. Is it? It's like it's not running the sim on the processor there where the system runs. I think fiber train fraction, that's how much of the processor speed is used for scenery loading. I've turned that up. I have optimized parts on, which gives higher frame rates. I've heard if you turn this off, you get better VAS. So this is sort of like up to you. Do you need VAS or do you need frames? I need frames. Yeah. Yeah, these others are all defaults. And yeah, and here's the FSUIPC init file. I have traffic limit 50. I don't know what these preferences mean, but basically I'd rather have it on the ground around me in the airport than in the sky, and I think that's what I'm trying to do. Anyway, so those are my settings, you guys. Another cool thing about SimStarter NG is you can, when you start programs, you can set what cores they're supposed to run at. So I'm running ASCA, Active Sky 16, and Ultimate Traffic 2 and Track IR. I'm running it only on the cores, on the hyper-threaded cores, on the threads, not on the logical cores, and I'm skipping it completely away from core 1. And I feel like that's actually really helped. Not so much with the frame rates, but with stutters. So that's really nice with this run config set. So it's kind of like a beefed up version of the XE and DLL files. Yeah, what else? Yeah, I think that's more or less it. Anyways, so here we are. Today, the plan is to go from. I'm thinking about getting a curved screen, you guys. Let me see, where did my sky vector go? Yeah, all about the tweaking these days. So, we came down from Bergen, we went to Haugesund, and we went now to Stavanger. Today we are gonna go from Stavanger to a closed down airfield called ENLI, Echo November Lima India, Lista, and it's out here. Another sort of fun fact, it's an extremely windy day in Norway, and with lots of rain, so it's kind of historically bad weather. So we're going to fly down here, and then we're going to fly from here, we're going to fly from Kjevik, Kristiansand. As you can see, it's Sigma turbulence here. Let me show you Wind ET, is that what it's called? Yeah, you guys should check out this, it's just the coolest looking site anyway. Basically shows you the winds everywhere. So you can see here we're in Stavanger. We're going to go down to Lista. It's pretty severe winds. 60-kilometer winds. Yeah, 30 knot winds. That's what we're looking at. On the surface. If we go up to say 10,000 feet or so, yeah, 40-50 knots winds. Pretty bad. 100. Yeah, we some severe winds to deal with today. So that's going to be really interesting. Cool looking sight, huh? Very neat. And fortunately though, I think all of these runways more or less, apart from, let's see, I know, yeah, Kristiansand is going to have a pretty severe crosswind, because the Kristiansand airport is like this. You see it, you can see the airport here actually. It's pretty much a straight on crosswind. We're probably going to come in from the north and into a really big crosswind. I think Lista, let's see if it's even on the map. Yes, it is. Lista is more of a directly into the wind type of situation, so that should be a little easier. Very cool. Cool sight, windy. Anyway, the flight is planned, and we are sort of more or less ready to go. I was thinking about using Pro ATCX here for a while, but somebody tipped me off in the comments that there's this really cool voice pack thing, and I just didn't have the time to download it, and I don't want to use it without it now. I really want to try it, so no, not today, but some other time. Yeah, so I'm using Chase Plane, and keep sort of, don't know how to, did I I think I may have sort of made it skip the view that I want here, because what I want is the overhead, and I don't want it to skip that when cycling presets. Yes, thank you. And I think we need to make that translation a little quicker. This is kind of cool though, you can apply this preset to every mode. And I also find this very difficult. I find the easing function very, like, there's something jerky about it. Let me know what you use. This is the standard. I guess that is the best, actually. Okay, I'll do this a little bit slower. Okay, and replies. Okay, I think I actually turned it off. That was lame. It's like, what happened? It's like, oh, you're being stupid. That's what happened. Okay, prioritize Z1. We're going to the overhead. Yeah, where was I? We were at the overhead panel. Yeah, please excuse my lack of understanding of my own thing here. I'm just gonna go straight to DPU. I'm gonna just start that thing. Let's do a fire test. I have sort of this feeling that sorry, what am I doing? I'm saying not testing the right lights here. The advisories all work. Caution panel all works. Yeah. So I read something about this engine intake heating switches should be open and on a heater the whole time. That's a new thing I just learned recently. So I'm going to start doing that as my that's the way I'm going to start doing things, I guess. And data services, let's get rid of the GPU. Today we're doing that. Oh yeah, I'll show you my ORSM too, I guess, since I just realized I haven't calculated the speeds. Okay, so today we are departing Echo November Zulu Victor Sula, and we are departing. It's a pretty easy flight. We are departing runway 36 and BIV K1H. Okay, so we're going menu, depart runway 36, which is 4. The BIV K is it 1H? I thought it was 4H, but yeah, BIV K1H, so 3. And we're gonna put that into the flight plan. And then when we get to BIV key, I think we're pretty much doing a direct to Lista. ENLI. And I think I need to open the doors here. And we need to request boarding.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard our Dash 8 q400. I'm just waiting for the last of the luggage to be loaded on board. Let's get underway in a few minutes.
Great, seemed to work. So our arrival into Lista will be runway 32. That's for sure. And for that there is nothing, because it's kind of like a dead airport. So I don't know exactly why we're going there, but we're trying it. I've never been there, so that's maybe one of the reasons. So we have a fully loaded plane to make things harder for us. So our zero fuel weight is 25621. 25621. And we're bringing fuel with us because that airport is shut down, so we have a release of 2312. We have, out of that, alternate is 310. So now alternate is actually where we're going to end up going. We have final reserve hold of 458. And then we have extra, which is our tank to fuel of 915. Okay. And that's that. We can go ahead and cross-fill that into this. Side. It's going to be a flap 15 landing, and then let's go ahead and get the weather before we calculate the wind speed here.
Echo November Zulu Victor Airport information Charlie 1420 Zulu weather wind 159er at 16 visibility 4 sky condition few clouds at 600 1800 scattered ceiling 2300 broken light rain temperature 5 dew point 3 QNH 09er 9er 5 advise on initial contact with information Charlie Echo November Zulu Victor Airport information Charlie 1420 Zulu weather wind 159er at 16 visibility 4 sky condition few clouds at 600 1800 scattered ceiling 2300 broken light rain temperature 5 dew point 3 QNH 09er 9er 5
Okay, let's go and calculate our speeds. I think that was really kind of weird though, because Zuma said speed 159er and our planning here is for 3.6. Oh, okay, I know why. I know why, and it's because I put it to custom weather mode. And that was the weather this morning, because I'm basically changing it to this morning. So see here, now it's 290 at 30. Okay, let's do it that way, because that's when I planned the flight for current weather, even though it is in the sim it's this morning, but in active sky it's current. Let's get the weather again. Okay, sorry. I thought that was really off.
November, Zulu, Victor, airport information, Echo 2120, Zulu, weather, wind 289 at 30, gusting to 41, visibility 10, sky condition, few clouds at 2500, scattered ceiling 3500, broken, temperature 4, dew point -2, QNH 0981, advise on initial contact you have information, Echo November Zulu Victor airport information Echo
Gusting to 41.
20 Zulu weather wind 289 at 30 gusting to 41 visibility 10 sky condition clouds at 2000
Okay.
2000
Okay, this is gonna be something. Winds 30, gusting to 41. I don't know if you heard that, guys, but we're dealing with 40 knot winds here. Let's see what the flight plan calls for in terms of altitude. It wants us to fly to 150. This is gonna be interesting. This might not work at all. Set the decision height to 0. And I'll add this to 1,500 feet. I don't understand this. I don't think this airport is at 500 feet. Whatever. I don't know, that doesn't make sense to me, but maybe that's something to do with the weird weather that we're seeing. But yeah, I want to calculate the takeoff speeds, and for that we need to go to performance. And I have Aura Sim. There's other ways of doing this, but I have Aura Sim. Echo November Zulu Victor. We are taking off runway 36. We can get the weather, which doesn't always work. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So, but basically it's 290 at 30. Wow. 290 at 30. The outside air temperature is is 4. Dew point is -2. QNH is 981. Takeoff weight. Takeoff weight is 27863. 27863. We are doing a flaps 5 departure. Calculate that. Okay, 131, 132, 142, 154. Okay, let's just put it straight in. 131. So you need these speeds to sort of know when to pull back and what to expect. 131, 131, 132. One 42. And I forget what the flaps retract speed was, but no, the climb speed was. But let's see. It's not 154. Yeah, sorry. 154, 142. Okay, cool. And it wants us to take off with 90. Okay, and top. So cool. I think that's about it, and I think we're about ready to go, I guess. Let's yeah, we have it's nice, better weather right now, like better visibility, even though the wind is cray cray. Oh, that's really gonna be something. Yeah, so here's Stavanger. Anyways, let's just get this party on the road. Post the backdoor. We have the pins in here. Let's turn on the anti-skid. I always forget to do that. Oops. Turn the thing in the front, and let's request a pushback. Let's see if this de-icing works this time, because it didn't. Last time I couldn't start the plane because of what I think was icing conditions, and I've never experienced that before. So I used the de-icing feature in here. This time let's use the GSX de-icing feature just for a giggles, shits and giggles. We're landing back at 0 feet. I know that for shiz. Yeah, we should probably have the pitos on, and we should close the engine intakes while we're doing the de-icing, that I'm pretty sure of. And the
confirm aircraft is ready for treatment.
Yeah, so this is what I don't know, but I think it's like.
Begin treatment now and observe fluid type 3, concentration at 50%. I will call you back when ready.
So I don't know if you've ever checked out the de-icing treatment before, but I don't know the details of how this is supposed to work, but I know that the fluid types are a little different. I think fluid 1 is what they use to get ice off the aircraft that's already on it. And I think like fluid 2 and 3 and whatever are heated gel-like. They're like gels that they spray on the aircraft. It sticks to the plane and it prevents new ice from forming on the plane. And it blows off when you take off. So I'm not sure. I don't think. I'd be really surprised if they model the different types. There's no chance to do that in the the FMS of the actual dash, so I'd be really surprised if the types really matter. I think that's more of sort of a fake immersion option here, but whatever, it's kind of neat. Takes a little bit of extra time, of course, which is annoying, but you know, that's the way it goes.
Icing and anti-icing completed. Anti-icing code is fluid type 3, concentration at 50%. I am disconnecting. Good day.
Okay. At this point, I think the truck should pull up to us. And we can do a departure. So why they say that, the due to icing conditions stand by, I think I also have a handle on, and it's not because it damages the plane, but it's because it could throw ice on people around the plane. But you know what? I am 100% sure that that's not modeled here, so I am gonna go ahead and be a rebel and start this plane as soon as we start pushback. But before that, I'm gonna set this to FMS1. I'm gonna set this to FMS2. I'm gonna push Alt Cell. I'm also going to set IS mode for 154. Yeah, set it for 154. I'm not 100% sure, but I actually think that that's what gives me that works my flight director. Guess we can test the weather radar too, huh? Switch both of these into nav mode, and we'll put weather on this one. Seems to work. Okay, so bleed air can come off, the ignitions can come on. We'll do number two first, and we will start that engine. Watch it come up, and we'll add fuel. So I have the immersion pack also for this plane. I don't know if people remember or not, if you've seen my other videos, but I do. I have the q400 immersion pack from FX packages, and sort of yet to really see it shine. But I think that's, you know, with those immersion packs, it really depends on the conditions. And in a sense, I was going to say sadly, but today we're going to do a really short flight, so I don't think I'll be spending a lot of time outside of the plane. But I will be spending some time outside of the plane. We'll see if we can't see something. I love how the propellers windmill. I have to say, I quite like this the smoothness of going to 30 Hertz.
This aircraft has 6 emergency exits. 2 exits are located in the front, 2 at the wings and 2 at the back. They are marked with the exit sign. Illuminated escape path markings on the floor lead to these exits.
Unlocking gear.
Each seat is equipped with the safety belts. To fasten the seat belt, fit the 2 ends together.
Nose wheel steering connected. Pins removed. Tow vehicle disconnected.
Unfasten the seat belt. Lift the upper part of the buckle.
We'll start engine 1. We will add the fuel to the engine now that it's going.
Pull the light vest over your head. Fasten the life vest by connecting the hooks to the ring. Pull the struts until the life vest
Put on
is
the
properly adjusted. On leaving the aircraft, pull the threads tight from the life vest.
Clear behind the aircraft, left and right.
Thread tubes are located on both sides for flowing the additional air into the life vest. For more detailed information,
Go full props. For that lovely sound. You can see how fast the clouds are moving. Love the engine sounds of this plane. Really awesome sounding. Okay. We'll turn on the fuel pumps, the hydraulics, and the propeller control. We'll turn on nose wheel steering. We'll turn on our pitot heats, our windshield heat. We turn on the engine intake heaters. We'll turn on the props heat. Set the airframe to slow. We'll turn on our bleeds. We can set that to min for now. And we can turn off this guy. We can turn on the precision lights. Turn on the logo lights. And we'll turn on the taxi light. And we can start this chrono to sort of be the engine thing. We'll go to solar ground and we'll depart. Request departure south. You know what? We're not gonna do that. We're gonna go runway 36 because I want the fun crosswind departure, and we'll see if it manages, if we can kill ourselves doing that stupid departure. So basically, we're just gonna backtrack down this runway that's to our left. That's runway 36. So one thing I really appreciate about the q400, but also sort of that annoys me slightly, is how the tiller is mapped to the, on the ground, the tiller is mapped to the aileron, so it makes it really easy to steer in a sense, but at the same time, since I don't have a yoke, I have to use the my right hand to do it, and that's also the hand that I use to operate the mouse, so it's hard for me to select to do things with the mouse at the same time as I'm operating the plane. I'm very excited about this. This is gonna be crazy. This is gonna be really stupid. I like that. It's actually quite nice looking though, the weather around here. See the windsocks straight. So that's runway 29 up ahead. I guess that's, we should look up there because that's where the AI is going to be approaching and departing from. That's okay. this is gonna be a fun flight. I'm very excited to see how it handles this kind of wind. I don't think I've flown this kind of wind since last winter. Last winter we had another sort of storm similar to what we're having right now. I was flying the 737 and it did quite well, and I did quite well. I'm really happy with how I did that day. Where the landings were basically, I was completely sideways. Massive crosswind to deal with. What really concerns me though a little bit is I always forget what I'm supposed to do on the ground with crosswinds, but I think I'm supposed to do ailerons into the crosswind, correct? Anyway, we'll find out if I am correct or not. So yeah, I just did the ailerons, but I shouldn't have, because we are taxiing and the ailerons are mapped to the tiller of this beautiful plane that we have here. We can actually see the mountains around here now, huh? Last time when we flew in we could see nothing. So I'm very excited. And I'm really pleased with the performance. Very pleased with the performance. Yeah, we can't get clearance from here, whatever. We're just gonna have to go without it. Okay, so FMS set, steering on, pumps on, fuel pumps on, hydraulics on, auto feather on, props max, trim set, flaps are not set, and now they will be. Wind is gonna be coming almost straight in from the right at a full 30 knots. What I do think we have to do is do a left rudder on the takeoff, like so. No, it's the tiller. Yeah, anyway, props max, props 5, trims 3 set, everything clear, landing lights on, runway 36, heading 360, leads are on. And the ice is on. Let them know that we're gonna go in the back. Okay, we said get comfortable. Start the chrono. And off with the gust lock. And off we go, I think. We'll do 40% first. Make sure it's nice and stable. And it is, so we're gonna go. Using the rudder to steer on the ground. And I'm pushing it actually to the right. Oh, it's impossible. It's impossible. It's literally pushing me sideways. Oh, okay, we got off. There's our climb speed. So what happens is the wind actually pushes your tail. You can see it, like the wind is coming from here and it's pushing my tail over here, which makes my plane turn into it. So it kind of auto centers it a little bit in a weird way. At least that's what's happened here, I think. Yeah, Stavanger, you guys, you can actually see it this time. So it's kind of set on this sort of lower, I wouldn't call it low, but lower area around a lot of mountains and out. And out here in the ocean is where all the oil rigs are. So man, flying it actually, it's pretty decent. I was expecting it to be gustier, but I think what we're gonna do, just because I want to check out, show you some of the environment before before we get too high is go outside. So yeah, it's also famous for its beaches, this area. Actually has really huge windswept beaches, very windswept, big waves, lots of surfers, believe it or not. One of the premier surfing spots in Northern Europe. So here is the actual city proper. Fairly decent sized city for Norway. It has a few lakes, has a lot of water everywhere. Very windy and very rainy, but quite a nice place. Really cute town, lots of white houses, and definitely recommend it. I think we have a little bit of a AI traffic water bug there. That's a lot of ferries leaving at the same time. But yeah, as you can see, it's got lots of bridges. FTX Norway put in a lot of sort of extra features to the terrain here. Yeah, I almost forgot about the FX packages, the immersion pack. Can't see much of it right now, but that's not to say we won't see any of it. Looks great. Yeah, so we have icing here. The good thing we actually had that set already. And we are... I was gonna say we're crossing 10,000 feet, but we're not. Oh, I forgot to set this to white. Always something. That bleeds come to mid, the norm. I think we can actually turn on the heat a little bit right there. It's cold out there and up here. Once we completed this turn, we will also turn off the seatbelt signs, and then we'll start thinking about our descent, because we don't really have a lot of time to do it in. Okay, pumps can come off. And I actually think I want to actually start thinking about that already. Lima India charts. Let's see if there's some available. I know it's on in my I know it is not in my Navigraph subscription, and that's about it. I think it's gonna have to be a visual approach, and I think we're gonna have to turn it to... So what are the runways? The runway 32 is heading 311. Just to do sort of a pseudo VOR approach. What's the elevation? 25 feet. 109.3. Okay, we'll tune that actually already, just so we have it done. So it's, even though Stavanger itself is somewhat flat, it's actually surrounded by a lot of mountains. So here we go, now we can actually see some contrails from the props. Is that what we're actually seeing here? and we are at altitude. We can reduce this to perhaps to 850. And we have to turn these off. Yeah, we're still getting ice. So let's see at our view tier. So it's Biv key is basically what it's doing. So let's just plan our VNav to ENLI, and we'll do a outward and inwards type of thing. So to ENLI, that's gonna be our VNav. We're planning it to VNav to that, and let's do it at 2,000 feet. And yeah, so we are already close enough to engage the VNav. So let's put altitude to 2,000. And engage VNav. So when we capture it, we will start going down the hill. Yeah, we have to adjust our trim here. I really like the PTA shader tool, but one thing I kind of wish is that I could try things live. It's not that this looks bad by any stretch of the imagination, it's just sort of difficult for me to remember what the other stuff looked like at this point, because I've changed so many things. And if I had a chance to sort of test them out and compare them, it would be a little easier for me. Thing I'm gonna just quickly look at here is, yeah, it is in chase plane mode. Do you see how my head here, the top of it, I turn it to the right, it goes to the right, but it also goes forward and then around? It's because I have my little LED thing on the side here, right? So when I turn it, it brings it also forward, and that's just so annoying. I wish there was some way of compensating for that. If somebody knows how to do that, then please let me know. Probably the most annoying thing I know about track IR. I like track IR, but that's just ludicrously annoying. Yeah. That's what happens when you forget to adjust the your throttle before it intercepts VNav. But now we have it. So let's talk about what we're going to do in the approach. So what we're going to do in the approach is we're going to come down to have it here, man. See layers. Can we turn on VORs? Yeah, VUR, no. FPOs, no. Okay, here. Let's look at the IFR chart. It's there. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in on this, and we're gonna track outbound on vector of 100. We're gonna track up on 100 for about 10 DME and then turn back to 311. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get that set up here. Actually, let's do 160. 165. So we're pretty much going like straight into the wind instead of fighting it. Okay, that's primed. We go to let's see here. VR1. I thought it would be there as an arrow. Let's actually turn VR2 to the same. So we can also turn, we can set nav2 to be VR2. Ideally it should point towards the thing. So what we could also do then is we can set I guess we could set separate courses for the separate nav radios, but I'm a little confused as to how to do that. I guess I'd just switch here from nav1 to nav2. Maybe we should try that. So so for nav2, let's set 311, which is the approach course. Was it not? I'll double check it afterwards, but I think it was 311. That is the runway course, yes. We can set this source on this side of the autopilot. We can set that to nav 2. Just for the heck of it. And we're now below 10,000 feet. We can turn back on our lights. We can... oh, I guess we never turned it off. That was a bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your own safety, we instruct you to keep your seatbelt fastened during the entire flight. Please observe that this flight is a non-smoking flight.
Oh, landing speeds. This is very much a planning as we go type of flight. Echo November, Lima, India. Let's see. And we are landing runway. Performance. Landing. Echo November, Lima, India. Runway. Okay, it doesn't want to find that for us, I guess. So what we'll do is we will go in here and we will find our speed card. So all the flights I've done, like q400, quite a lot at this point. Speed card. And we will do a flaps 15 landing. I don't want to go any more flaps because that will make me very slow, which will mean that the wind will have more authority over me. Kind of almost want to do a flaps 10 landing. Should I do flaps 10 landing? Anyways, landing weight we'll do 27380. Let's do a flaps 10 landing. That's really weird. I've never done that before. And we'll do the speeds 132, 132, 122. Okay. Never done that before. We're trying it. And we're moving this to flaps 10. Let's get the weather.
Echo November, Lima, India, airport information, hotel 2142, Zulu, weather, wind 297 at 32, visibility 10, sky condition 3000, sky sail 2008, hydrobroken temperature 3, dew point minus 4, QNH 0982, advise on initial contact, information, hotel. Echo November, Lima, India, airport information, hotel 2142, Zulu, weather, wind 297 at 32, visibility 10, sky condition 3000, sky sail 2008, hydrobroken temperature 3, dew point minus 4, QNH 0.
Okay, 297 at 32, so 32 knots from the west, and we're landing into the north. A little bit, I don't know what the total difference is compared to what we just saw, but it's something. So here we go, here's the airport. We are almost at our intercept altitude. Beautiful. So this is FTX Norway with airports of Norway. So this is Farsund, Lista. This is famous for being incredibly windswept, this thing here. Incredibly windswept. Very, very cool looking with all those windmills up in the hills out there, huh? I think this used to be a military airport, but what do I know? At this point, we're gonna switch this to heading mode. And then we're gonna set the nav source to nav 1. Very weird. Why does it do that to me? Okay, anyways, so we're gonna do the heading this way. This VOR seems to be not operational. Let's see. This is one of those times where you sort of should have checked, right? 109.3. I wonder if this could just be a basic fact of the data here being 109.3 out of whack. 109.3. I think this is gonna have to be a visual approach, because that VUR ain't working. It's so cool with the rain and the lights. Too bad the rain is so sort of like on off, but I love how it illuminates the rain. Here we have some ships. So I don't know if you've been paying attention, but I'm extremely happy with the smoothness of this flight. I think it's been second to none. Number 2 just doesn't want to do it. It just doesn't want to do it. So we'll do a turn around here. Actually, it gets a DME though, so we're at 10 miles, which is where I want to be. And then we want it to be okay. Just want to see if I can actually find this frequency, if it's actually a different frequency. LSTVOR. Lista. 9.3. It's a Takan. Yeah, so this was a military airport. I don't know. It's not in the sim. For whatever reason. 311. Sorry about that. Yeah, we don't even have minimums here, but let's just set a decision height. Oh, 200 feet. And today, that's mostly going to be about the wind. Right? Are we going to make it or not? And I think we can start descending now. Set it to 200 feet. Vertical speed. Set it to minus 1200. I think maybe I'm around that. So we are 9 miles away. Can I even find it here on nearest airports? I think this sort of, yeah, it is. Okay, so props 1800. Pumps can come on. Yeah, I can see the airfield.
Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain.
Flaps can go 5. And gear can come down. Lean can come to min. Turn off all the icing now because I don't think we need it anymore. And let's disconnect everything because we're too high. Too low, I mean. But whatever, we'll do it at, we'll go
500.
we will try and maintain this altitude. And then we'll finally sink when it seems more appropriate for us to sink into Echo November Lima, India. We have a 30 knot headwind, so we're doing 110 knots over the ground, 140 knots indicated. Thankfully it's not gusting. It's really odd to go this slow. This is really not hard at all. This is just perfect. We're having pretty much a perfect headwind. No problem, they said. Okay, let's go down. Not that fast. It's kind of hard. One thing that's hard in the q400 is to get a decent glide going at really is nice to have the autopilot to set that up for you to intercept the approach and set the trims and do all the things that you need to do to get a good approach going. To do it fully manually I find a little bit difficult.
Plus 100.
But this is okay. Yeah, I have a pretty decent sync right here. And we will go for this. We will be landing. Do our best to land this. Yeah, okay, and then I get confused by the displaced threshold. Let's not get confused by the displaced threshold. Okay, here we go.
40, 30, 20, 10.
Let's see, no brakes, just beta range on the propellers. See how long it takes for us to stop, because I think with this headwind we don't really need brakes. See that? Look at that. No brakes. Oh, I guess they have the spoilers up. But still. So, here's Lista, you guys. Used to be an old army airfield. You can sort of tell because it has all these runways going in all the different directions. There's an old tower over there, not a real terminal. Yeah. Kinda neato. I think what we'll do though, even though this is a cool place and all, is we will take this back to the beginning. We'll just backtrack immediately and then keep going on to Kjevik, Kristiansand, because that is very nicely modeled in airports in Norway. The freeware pack from the guys from Andrew Thompson, I think his name is made that freeware pack. Really, really nice freeware pack. Sort of like weird how I turned this off, but whatever. I think I'll do another flaps 10 landing at Kjevik. Mostly because I just think it makes some sort of sense in so we used 425 pounds, we still have 1725 left. Let's see what did our plan call for. 483, so we used less than our plan, so we should be safe to go again. I think it's because we had so much wind going our way. Birds flying. I have to say I'm extremely happy with how the sim performs. It usually pauses for like a second or two, and it hasn't done that. Very, very neat. At least not that I noticed. Maybe it did it while I wasn't watching, or while I was watching something that was. But I don't think it did that, and it's always done that for me. This 30 Hz thing really is a killer feature. I suspect that's what's doing most of the magic here. Is putting my my monitor sync to 30 Hz. Okay, let's do this real quick. So to do that, we will first clear out the current flight plan. Echo November Lima India. Accept menu. Depart runway 32. Send it to the flight plan, and then let's go. We need to get that new flight plan. I have the other flight plan in here somewhere. It's here. Yeah, so see here, it's kind of like this is, so my trip is 452, we have plenty of fuel, we have 4 times that much, and the release is 851, we have double that, we have that in just 1 tank, so we're safe to go. Packs is the same, cargo is roughly the same as well, so I'm not going to do much about that. Let's just program this route. From there we're going to go straight to nav point called PEVEB, which is probably the start of the star that we're going to do. And then we're going to do a star PEVEB 6M2 Kjevik. So Echo November, Charlie November. Kjevik, Kristians on. Menu, arrive. We're going to be landing runway 22. And we will do the PEVEB 6M approach. And we will not do transition, but we will do the ILS, and we will do the transition for the ILS will be the Ubada. We can send that to our flight plan. So let's see if we got some. Yeah, we got a disconnect where we're supposed to move over to our approach. So speeds, performance. So since we're not be able to get this up in RSM, I think we need to use this guy again. That was stupid that I closed the other flight plan, because that really has our current weight. Our landing weight was 27,380, and I think we had like 100 more than that, so we're at more or less 28. So 28 below 20 is 130, 132. So you can see it's gone down a little bit. And then our 28, it's 142 and 154. So that's our speed set. So then we need to get rid of this decision height again. Let's set 1060 as our acceleration altitude. Set this to FMS1. On this guy, we can just go ahead and crossfill the flight plan. Crossfill the fuel. And let's clear that annoying blinking message. Let's set this to FMS2. And set LNAV. IS mode, set it to 154 again. So we have some flight directors taking us off in this weather. Not that it's so difficult in this weather, really. It's pretty easy. So we're getting caution because of our parking brake. Gust lock can come off. Props can come up. Trim can come back for the trim. Lights can come back on. Turn the engine intake heaters back on. I shouldn't turn them off, as I just told you about earlier. They're supposed to be on the whole time. The main bus tie should be off. That's been on the whole time too. That's not right. Yeah. Hydraulics, pumps, auto feather, beacon right. Everything's set to go. We can announce takeoff. Depart south.
Wind direct 1224, taking off runway 32, departure to the south, base set.
And we're good to go. Oh, parking brake is on. Silly me. So takeoff should be easier now because there's not such a heavy crosswind pushing us sideways off the runway. So I'm absolutely just totally hand flying it at this moment. I have a feeling I should not be pitching up so much, and I have a feeling I should be turning right, but you know, it's good to see some scenery on this tour too. You can actually see some more of the beaches down there. You can actually see beaches in Norway. We have beaches in Norway. We're not known for it, but we do have beaches here. Okay, so we can retract our flaps, and we will. We can turn to intercept our flight director. Oh, it's just I can't. This really feels so smooth. It's the smoothest it's ever felt. Very, very cool. I greatly recommend this 30 Hz setting. That's the silver bullet I've been looking for. Because I can't seem to do much with my frames, man. They stay at the same, but to get it to play smoothly at 30 frames, I think it really is. It feels like I'm having double the frame rate. Just because there's so little jerkiness. You just saw a little glitch there, but honestly there hasn't been much more than that. It could also be that I'm not using EasyDock anymore. I'm not sure. There's a lot of change, a lot of factors moving, a lot of moving parts here. But it certainly is pretty decent, the performance that I'm getting. So let's set the IIS to 195, and we'll watch this one climb. On our own, we can turn off the pumps here and the auto feather, and this time let's release the passengers. One of Henrik Nielsen's ships with some massive cranes on it. Wow. Ooh, that made me dizzy. A lot of prop wash here by the engines. It's so cool though. If I move the camera just a little bit, like I just did there, I moved it away from the engine. The other side, the prop wash goes away. So this is another thing that's kind of cool about FTX Norway. They have all these are fish farms. There's a lot of fish farms in Norway. Often criticized that business, and much liked by the people who do it, and much criticized by the people who criticize it. It's kind of interesting. So all these fish farms are in these fjords over here. Big fjords down to the southeast here, southwest. I mean, it's kind of interesting though. This is our last sort of view of the fjords. Look at these cool bridges that they have over here too. When they have to build roads between towns here, they have to build these like crazy constructions like that. Now it is kind of the last view of the fjords for a while, because when we're gonna go down south, those sort of iconic fjords will give way too much sort of flatter landscape. Still lots of bays and inlets and skerries and all that sort of stuff, but the mountains gives way. And we'll come into Oslo and we'll start going up the center of the country, the spine of the country where I'm from, and we'll see the high mountains, which are kind of like mountain plains, to be honest. I'm very excited about especially flying into Røros. We'll do that with the q400. It's a really cool flight. Yeah, so we should turn on the anti-ice because it's back. Oopsie, sorry, I had to scratch my head and I forgot that I was wearing my tracker. So we're at 1300 feet already, coming up on... Let's see, let's start navigation charts and we will check out what to do for Kjevik. I guess we're already almost there, I guess, which is a bit of an issue. No, not now, not now. We just want to find Echo November, Charlie November, and we want to fly the standard approach charts, runway 22. We come in on the PEVEB, we have to be above 100. We're doing the ILS localizer 22. So at Ubeda we want to be at 3000, so that's our first stop here on the VNAV planning. I don't know if this is how you do it, but this is how I do it. I sort of first thing I do is sort of I get the VNAV started, so I know where I'm gonna go, or when I'm gonna start going, because this aircraft is kind of a handful. You have to stay on top of bringing this down on time, because otherwise you won't get down on time. So we have 22 miles until our top of descent. That should be plenty. Oh yeah, see, this one is not which one are we heading towards? We are heading towards Solsea. Is that what we're heading to? So we have to set this up to direct to Solsea first, and then it will draw the route for us. I always forget about that. To max. Really cool weather, huh? Okay, anyway, so what else? Let's plan the whole rest of the thing. So the frequency is 110.9. I'll put that in here too. Thank you very much. Cool clouds, huh? NVTEX and ASCA. Let's tune this guy through the 372 EF. So let's kind of just like past the runway. Three 372. Oh shit, VNAV. Here I am telling you about the importance of staying on top of your top of descent, and then I go ahead and mess it up immediately after, purely as a training device, of course, so that you guys can see what not to do. Like, you should not be that stupid that you get so hung up on like your planning and your radios that you forget about your top of descent. That's exactly what you should not do, right? For 110.9. Okay, so 213 is the heading, the course of the ILS. And then we have ice again. See, there's a lot to manage in this little guy. So to sort of catch up here now, I have to set the vertical speed to be more than what it was in our descent planning. And if we can see here, we can see our deviation. So right now we're like 1,600 feet above where we should be at this point. So we should actually be at like 11,000 at this point. We want this to go down and down and down. So if we increase the rate of descent, it will go down faster. Okay, I'm just gonna have to tune the ILSs, but before that I just have to comment on how good this looks. This really looks like winter in Norway. Very, very nice looking job, Orbex. 213, that was our course. ILS course 213. It's important to look here, not here, because this is wrong. And now we have captured the VNAV path. You see? Pretty neat, huh? It's pretty neat. And then we can bring our throttles back up. Oh, a pause? What? Here I was telling you about like how there was no pauses anymore, but I think it's still the scene reloading. Scene reloading gives me pause. Let's bring our passengers back to their seats. And yeah, I never turned off those landing lights, so I guess they can stay on. Niner 6, as they say here. Yeah, so what we will do is we will actually turn the switches to heading mode once we go around the corner here, and then we'll engage nav mode to capture the VOR, the localizer, and then we'll engage approach mode to capture the glide slope. Okay. Sit up a little bit. Oh yeah, speeds again. So we're gonna use the same speed card. We're gonna do another flat 10 landing, and we're probably around here somewhere. So let's do 130 and 120. We have probably burned a little bit of fuel, even though we just basically just went up in the sky and came back down again. Very cool with the rain and the headlights. Very cool. Okay, we have the ILS now that we actually have this tuned. Good, sweet. And we can now go ahead and switch this over to heading mode. And now V-speed mode, vertical speed mode. That was totally the wrong array.
Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain.
We're not looking for roll mode, we're looking for heading mode. Nav 1, and we can engage localizer.
25.
Let's go to nav 2. We have captured the altitude, which is nice. Nice and low though.
Echo, November, Charlie, November, airport information. Lima 2220, Zulu, weather, wind 268 at 7, visibility 10, sky condition, few clouds at 2600, temperature 3, 2.0, QNH 0981, advise on initial contact, you have information. Lima, Echo, November, Charlie, November, airport information. Lima 2220, Zulu, weather, wind 26.
Okay, so only 70 knots this time. I'll just help it intercept here. I don't see why we need to make the autopilot work harder than it has to, but we will go full props, turn on our pumps, turn on the auto feather, and bring our bleeds to min. And we have the localizer, so that's good. This time will be a little easier. It will do the setup that I talked about. That will set up the glide for us, which is a lot easier. Oh, it's stuttering. So we can see the glide slope indicator starting to move. Just want to see it capture that localizer again. But it's okay. So what it to me was looking like it was trying to capture the localizer. It's actually trying to compensate for the crosswind, and it is 40 knots still at this point. Jeez. Okay, let's go flaps 5. Let's get configured. And let's arm the approach. Let's arm the approach. Glide slope. Glide slope captured. So when the glide slope is captured, we bring down the wheels, the landing gear. And then down the speed here a little bit. Okay, trims are good. Very fast. All the lights are on. Cool. Yeah, some guy in the comments also told me that instead of sort of having to do this all the time I want to hide the menu, I could just hold an Alt on the keyboard and it goes away. Very nice. Oh yeah.
Cleared to land, runway 22, winter route 1224.
We are cleared to land. We can watch the crosswind is actually going down. Now we're at 24 knots. So as we're going slower and lower, we're sort of sheltering into this valley below us. That's nice. That means we lost our autopilot. Whatever. We'll try and do it manually, even with the shifting crosswind. Yeah, and so the reason why it's doing that is because my speeds are of course 20 knots higher with the icing conditions.
1000. Light slope. Light slope.
See, now the crosswind is almost gone and we need to actually maneuver into space, but into the right position. That's incredible of Active Sky to sort of do that adjustment there. I'm sure that's quite realistic, but it was just now it was 40 and now it's 7. And it's the altitude, right? I just think that's really, really nicely done. It's really nicely done of Active Sky. They're able to do that.
500.
Yeah, so flaps 10 indicating, gear down 3
Light slope.
gear down 3 green, trims are set, bumps are on, lights are on, all that sort of stuff. Are a little low, but I know
Light
that.
slope.
On top of it, I'm trying to compensate. And we will capture we will get 2 white, 2 reds just there. Once again, this is Airports of Norway, Kjevik. It has ground textures, photo scenery, all that jazz. So look at this. Our horrible crosswind is now practically gone.
$100. 50. 40.
Okay, let's see how this goes.
30, 20. 10.
Okay, not so bad. It was a little harder actually because we didn't have all that lovely headwind to help us get down. So it was a really fast landing. It felt very uncomfortable, but not bad. 2 flaps 10 landings in the q400, which I mean I guess is not standard. 70 knots, getting on the brakes at this point. Whoa, why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? What happened there? I wonder if like one of my brake pedals not? My brakes not properly configured or something? That was really weird. As soon as I hit the brakes, it just wanted to go to the right. So the fuel pumps can come on and the auto feather can come off. The flaps can come back up. And I totally forgot what gate they mentioned. Whatever, we'll do our own gate. So we will go to gate. It still freezes when I open this menu. We will go to gate 14 and we will not need a follow me. And let's stop over here and just do our after landing floats. Yeah, so you leave the hydraulic pumps on because you do need brakes, you know. So that's important. Weather radar can come off. Transponder can go to standby. Yeah, these guys can still stay on. This though can come off. We're not gonna go flying anymore, so that's okay. And we can turn the pitos off so we don't burn anyone. These guys can come off. Tax light can come on. This gets to go to red. And we can turn the leads back on to max just because we want to, and we can turn on the APU. And we'll continue taxiing. Feather the props on prop 1. Do a one engine taxi. Because apparently that's what people do these days. Can bring this back to disk. So yeah, this is the freeware scenery by airports in Norway. I think it's pretty good. Certainly a lot better than default, and it's a lot better than what FTX Norway has for this package, which is more custom. And I like you know, that everything's numbered and named and has text and stuff. Texture quality is not maybe the best in the world, but you know what? It's free and it's pretty good. It has night lighting, has everything you need. It's prepared, compatible, and it's continuously supported, which I think is pretty good. So here we are. Runway parking 14, and we totally blew it on the turn, and my brakes are mushy and weird. And taxi light will come off. Yeah, we pulled in too far, whatever. We didn't do so well. And we can turn on this one for another 30 seconds, and then we'll cut the other engine. And turn the bleeds off, and also steering can come off. Position logo lights can come off. Fasten seatbelt lights can come off, and the other engine can come off. And we're gonna get a bad review from our taxi guy saying that that was not a very good parking, or that was a bad parking. That wasn't a very good parking. I know. So we'll open the doors and we'll request deboarding. Wow. Turns out the weather wasn't as crazy as I kind of expected it to be, but this was fun nonetheless. The takeoff was really something. I'll definitely give it that. As was kind of the wind on route, it's just too bad we didn't have like a full-on mega crosswind landing here. It looked really promising going down, but then it improved as we came down. Once again, really impressed with Active Sky 16. It's just a very, very, very nice program. It does such a good job of mimicking the weather. Very, very impressive. Well, and also I have to say once again, extremely happy with how the 30 hertz setting for my Dell monitor is working out. I'm actually getting really smooth syncs, and the microstutters are, yeah, I don't know. At least in my eye, they're completely gone. They're completely gone. Maybe they aren't completely gone, but I sure can't see any anymore. Yeah, this airports in Norway is Kjevik. Also an army station, so there's the army part over here. I think they do sort of schooling down here somehow. I don't know exactly what they do. They don't operate any big aircraft out of here anyway. This is our biggest city on the south coast, and it's out there basically, and it goes around here for a little bit. You see there's lots of ferries going from here to Denmark. I wonder if that's one of those ferries or if it's just a boat. That is just a boat. Just a ship. Kind of annoying how it does that flicker when you zoom in, right? Because it looks really good from a distance, and then when you start zooming in, I guess it just can't sort of deal with the textures anymore. Looks a little better, and when you have the super sampling on. But anyway, that was really fun. I liked it. I thought that was pretty successful. I thought it's pretty good landings today, and fun challenge and beautiful scenery, you know, like it's, I'm telling you, FTX Norway, that's the place to be. Really cool approach into Kjevik, going down this little valley. Very, very cool. It's nice the other way too, but I especially like this approach actually. Anyways, thanks for watching. Leave more comments, subscribe, yeah, likes, all that jazz, and watch if you feel like it. Watch, there's more videos here, more of the Q400, there's more of FTX Norway, and there's some of me in the States where I don't know so much what I'm flying over, and things are kind of flat and boring, but I'm waiting for my Skyline's tires to pop. They're completely worn out. I'm seriously wondering what went on there when I landed. That seemed very seemed odd to me, what happened there. But what do I know? What do I know? Anyways, thanks for watching, you guys. Feel free to come back. And there'll be more stuff when you do. Okay, thanks for now. Bye bye, guys.